Hi everyone, it's Moon's Day, and we set ourselves up yesterday with sunset, setting our goals for the week, and maybe even looking forward in our life. You know, these are my goals. These are my goals. I used to have 5-year plans. And what would happen with that is, for instance, I decided that I was going to get a master's degree in 5 years. And typically that takes, I don't know, 6 or 7 or something like that. Hey, Hudson. So tonight I'm talking about setting goals and achieving them and feeling a sense of self-esteem and self-worth and how we come to that. So today I pulled a card and my card was the world. So using this influence and using what I know about that, which is this is fruition. If you have a project and you've been working on it and you pull the world, then what happens is that you know that you're coming to the completion of that and it's actually going to be successful as well. So yesterday at sunset, we set up some goals. And when you achieve your goals, it's a good idea to celebrate, to give yourself some kind of a reward. Because the way that humans work is that, oh, thanks for the love. The way that humans work is we're a little bit like Pavlov's dog. Who got a treat and salivated, and by dinging of a bell. So the bell would ding, the dogs would go over, get a treat, and pretty soon salivate. Pretty soon all that needed to happen was that Pavlov would ring the bell, the dogs would go over there and salivate. So after a while, the dogs were just trained to go over there. We're a little bit like that. We can train ourselves for success, and you get to define success for yourself. It's no point in you thinking, well, my friend so-and-so thinks that that's success, so therefore that's going to be my success. When you claim your success for yourself, I feel very successful. I'm a soul entrepreneur. SOUL. I live on the beach. I have my needs taken care of, and I get to figure out how to be on Facebook Live with you and help you with your goals. So I think that's pretty successful. You get to define it for yourself. If for you success is buying a motorboat or a sailboat or a whatever, then that success is very personal, and that is something that, really it's good for us to learn that lesson. Hey Silly, how are you doing? Ronaldo, hi. Kimberly, hi. Anita, thanks for popping on. So what I'm talking about is setting yourself up for success. And what we did last night with sunset is we set these things in motion. Hey, Siobhan. So we set these things in motion. And as you do that, the universe brings to you what you say. So I said that I was going to get a master's degree in 5 years. I had no idea how that would happen. I just said I'm going to get a master's degree in 5 years. I didn't worry about the details. I didn't think about, does this make any sense? I merely made the statement. The universe contrived to figure it out for me. So 5 years later, I've got my master's degree. The same thing can happen to you. Part of declaring is knowing, what do you want? The best way to figure out what you want is to figure out what you don't want. That rules out a whole lot of things and kind of clears the way for the universe. The universe does not know about not. So when you say, I don't want to be sad anymore, not goes right out the window, and the universe hears, I want to be sad anymore. Oh, I was frozen. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see what I can do about any of that. All right. I hope I'm frozen looking good. So my goal is to figure out, oh, good, someone has got a great connection. Thank you. So my goal is to figure out how to get technology to work for me. Last night on Sunset, we do it on Sunday night, 8:30 around in there. So at that point, I didn't have my light, and I was going, oh, I don't have the light, and how am I going to do this? Well, I realized that until I got the light, I was perfectly capable of doing Facebook Lives. So I was like, that's ridiculous. Sometimes you have to tell yourself that the obstacles that you're putting in your way are just silly. Because when you acknowledge them, you give them power. So I said to myself, that's just silly. So tonight, last night I had two barbells holding the phone up. Tonight I have a barbell and this guy's partner right here who is holding the phone up. The barbell is behind. This little guy is in the front. His partner is in the front holding the phone up. There is always a way. I said that. Now Marie Forleo says everything is figure-outable. I love that. And if you go, oh, I don't have the right equipment, oh, that's going to stop me, then you're really you're missing the impetus of life, because life is going to throw us challenges all of the time. So yesterday at sunset, you set some goals, or at least I hope you did, and you set them for the whole week. Now, today we made it through Monday, and we look at what did we achieve and what do we still have to do. So today on my list is to make a video. I'm in a mentoring group, so I need to make a video for that. I need to redo some emails and make a couple of posts. I'm also going to offer to teach a class at East West Books, so please shoosh some energy that direction. I want that to happen in early January. So when I put that out to you and I say, please throw some energy that way, you're now connected to that goal. When we tell each other and when we have accountability partners, then that person says, oh, did you get that done? And when you get it done, I call it a to-do list, because if you call it a to-do list, that just brings the energy down. Always when you're setting yourself goals and you want to be successful, you want to have the highest vibration possible. So I call my list ta-da, because when I get finished doing it, I cross it out and I go ta-da. So that keeps the energy up and flowing. So set your goals. Hop on with me on Sunday nights. That's what we're doing. We're talking about success and achievement, accomplishment, and how to feel better about yourself. So one of the ways that I do that is I do what's called inner visioning. So I see myself doing things, and then I watch. And this is another thing that you can do. This is really cool. At bedtime, you can see yourself going through an exercise routine, whatever it is that makes your heart sing. And what you do, pardon me, what I did for years is I saw myself doing jumping jacks and then running, and then doing jumping jacks and then running. So I had to remember to tell myself that not to run longer than 3 miles, because when I forgot, the next morning I would wake up and my muscles in my legs would be tired, and so would the backs of my arm. So what science found out is that I was a nurse, so I was working sometimes on surgery. What science found out is that if the patients watched a video of someone exercising, their body got the same effect. If they imagined themselves doing it, it amplified that effect. So when you tuck yourself into bed at night, and when you envision yourself going through an exercise routine and then you drop into dream time doing that, your body gets the benefits of it. It sounds really crazy, but I got to tell you, when you watch something, the mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So, in one of my mentorings, what we were told is to act as if. You know that thing of people who are feeling kind of depressed and everyone says, well, act as if you're not. It actually works. And science has found out that if you can imagine it, your mind thinks it's true. So in inner visioning, the webinar that I'm having on Wednesday, it's at 7:30. And Miss Anita, if you would be a sweetie and put the link in there, I would just give you a big smooch. So when you're doing inner visioning, using your imagination, you see yourself doing things, the mind then begins to buy into that. And so what happens is the mind buys into, oh, I'm doing this. And when you're going to make some changes in your body, if you're going to put yourself on an eating regime, I don't call them diets because there's too much negativity out there and in your mind about that. But when you're going to put yourself on an eating regime, then by all means envision yourself how you want to see yourself. Hi, Leroy. Mary, it's sweet that you're here. Deanne, nice. Anita, thank you for putting that on. So the reason that I want you to get engaged in setting yourself up for success by your definition, and I'm not talking about, 6 figures and a boat out there, and a big splashy car. I'm talking about your own personal definition of success. For me, my goal is happiness. The Dalai Lama said the purpose of life is happiness. I'm going to go with that. So my happiness doesn't necessarily mean that it's society's happiness or what society says I ought to be doing. Society would tell me that I ought to be retired. But what I'm telling me is I'm launching this whole nother pathway, that everything that I've done so far, being a nurse, learning about diets and exercise and moving into that realm. I was a weight loss counselor for a while. I was a psychotherapist. I do shamanic work, and I also do counseling that relies on that shamanic work. All of these things brought me to here. My vast experience gives me the right, the privilege, and the honor to be here offering these things to you. But without having gone and explored all of those, if I had taken the normal path, the 9 to 5, I wouldn't be here with you and you wouldn't be here with me. So when you attempt to live your life into someone else's idea of success, you're going to feel short. You're going to always come up less than. When you define it for yourself, like I asked Spirit, where do you want me? It showed me up, water, a little skiff of land, and the sun going down over and over and over. And this was after I'd gone through a pretty devastating preparation for foreclosure. So I was just, where do you want me? And over Spirit showed me, I live at the beach. So these are not normal kinds of ways. Like most people don't go through that, end up at the beach in a beach house. So when you look to society to define what's right for you, or you look to someone else to tell you how you ought to dress, how you ought to talk, how you ought to do these things, you're going to be not fulfilling your own destiny, not your own purpose, and certainly you're not going to show up as the highest and best of yourself, because you're going to show up like someone else wants you to. So how often have you done that? Probably several times. So I'm inviting you to join me on Wednesday evening for the power of inner visioning, where we'll use inner visioning and your own inner guidance system, which you all have. And I'll talk to you about the science that goes with this. You don't get through all of the education that I've got and then, deny science. I think science has a huge place to play when you dovetail it with spirituality. Hey, Namjoon, how are you? Nice to see you. So, what I'm talking about tonight is setting yourself up for success, and then looking at your achievements. What have you achieved so far? And last night at sunset, I do this every Sunday night at 8 o'clock-ish, and we set ourselves up for the week. We look at what do we want to achieve, what is left over from last week, if anything, prepare ourselves for the upcoming week, and then by Monday, we're reviewing back a day. If you and when you achieve your goals, give yourself some kind of a reward. It might be that you take yourself out for tea. At the end of the week, you can give yourself a big reward. But along the way, each and every one of these days, find a reward for yourself, I bought myself a chocolate bar yesterday. So my reward for finishing part of my goals for today was to have 2 pieces of the chocolate. I didn't eat the whole bar. I'm not going to eat the whole bar. But when we reward ourselves with something, now for me, I love chocolate. When we reward ourselves with something along the way, and you reward yourself every day, you're telling yourself, I'm successful, I'm achieving things, I'm taking care of whatever it is that you're taking care of, and you're moving yourself forward at your own pace. That's important. Sometimes I can do 20 things in a day, and sometimes I achieve 3 things in a day. But each day that I do more than one thing, I reward myself. Myself wants to do more and more and more because we're driven by rewards. So achieve something, spend half an hour at it, and once you do the half an hour, you're welcome to go on and do more. But at that half an hour, make sure that you reward yourself. And when you have accomplished something at the end of the week, it's a really lovely idea for you to give yourself something special. Maybe that's going out for dinner. Maybe that's going to a movie. Maybe it's buying a book. Maybe it's something that doesn't cost any money at all, like going for a beach walk. So when you reward yourself, you want to do more. And so this is made it through Monday. So look back. What have you achieved so far this week? What do you want to achieve by the end of the week? Where would you like to be in a week from now? So next Monday, where would you like to be? And in the meanwhile, join me on Inner Visioning, the power of Inner Visioning. I'm going to do it live. It's on Wednesday, 7:30 Pacific. The link is in there. And you're welcome to message me if you need more information, if you want to talk about it, just let me know and I'd be happy to discuss that with you. So, what do you want to be successful at this week? What are your goals? What have you achieved so far? Maybe without even knowing. Maybe you have something that you want to have done by the end of the week, have achieved, and maybe, today you were already working away at it. So give yourself some kind of a reward. Set it up that you give and then you receive. So it's a beautiful process. I work and I receive. I work, I get a reward. I work, I give myself a reward. I work, I give myself a reward. So that it all comes from within. That's the other thing. When you look outside of yourself for someone else to acknowledge what you have done, they're probably not going to acknowledge it nearly as big as you would like. and perhaps it will happen that they might not acknowledge it at all. So when you give yourself your own rewards, you're not looking outside yourself for anybody else to make you feel better, to acknowledge you. It all comes from within here, and then you're whole and happy and moving forward in your life. So thanks for joining me tonight, and I'm happy to see you all. So I'll just recap because a couple more people popped on. What I'm talking about tonight is defining your own success, whatever that looks like for you. Thinking, and what I do on Sunday nights is I help you set your goals for the week. Monday, we look at what did you achieve so far and how far do you go. And the other thing is that we use these cards. Today, we're all at a crossroads, whatever it is. We have made a decision, however. And tomorrow, what we get to use is we get to use the King of Wands, who says, wake up your dreams. It's time for you to wake up your dreams and follow them. And then along about Wednesday, there's going to be some things that you're ready to let go of. Necessary destruction for positive reconstruction. So find out what it is that you're ready to let go of and let it go. And then join me on the webinar on Wednesday night. I won't be doing a Facebook Live then. I'll be on the webinar. So come learn about inner visioning and create from there. Bliss, everybody. Good night.